everyone. Welcome back to Two Idiots Review. I'm Caleb.
I'm Hannah, and the comic book world suffered a major loss yesterday with the passing of Stan Lee. We both found out like pretty soon after it happened. I mean, it makes it sound like we know people who were like, but no, we found out with everybody else. But and as big Marvel fans, and we've actually met him. We met him last year at a con, and I was just like super nervous, but like super excited. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's happening. And he was just like super polite. He was like, oh, hey guys, like, how's it going? And, then we took the picture and we were on our way, like, because those photo ops are like, the photo ops go by so quick. It's not like, okay, let me have a,
Yeah, I would wish it could have been like a little like meet and greet, like a little like 10-minute, like, hey, like, how's it going, buddy?
But, even still, like, that was like a highlight. So, so it was really sad to, obviously hear of his passing, but, he was 95, so he lived pretty long life, and a pretty, like, full life.
In fact, he was about to be turning 96 in December, so he was practically...
But, he was married for a long time. I know his wife passed away, I think, last year.
It was last year, yeah.
So he was married for a really long time. He,
he accomplished everything that any one man could accomplish in a lifetime.
Yeah.
And then some.
So, he... Marvel, starting, before it was Marvel Comics, and starting that, and then going through and with Marvel Comics and kind of getting a resurgence because it was like comics were down, and then he was creating characters that were
new and exciting.
Yeah, that were boosting.
And
whether you're Marvel or DC, I mean, I feel like even if you're more of a DC fan or a Marvel fan, you could still appreciate and recognize
what he did for the whole industry.
What he did for the industry and the legend that he was, because I think I read, I don't know which celebrity it was, but he was like, the word legend gets thrown around a lot these days.
But
they're like, he's the only, they're like, but he really is a legend. And I was like, that's true.
It's like, they need to come up with a whole new word if, a legend gets thrown around too much. But, I mean, he has impacted the whole world in a way that very few people can in a lifetime. He, not only revolutionized the comic book industry, but by influencing the comic book industry is now, in current day times, has now impacted the cinemas in a way that...
And
TV shows and like so many other different mediums. There's books, there's podcasts. I mean, there's unlimited mediums that are now being influenced by what he did and how he started it all. So I mean, it's a legacy that's going to outlast any of us.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm, 60, 70, if I have kids or grandkids or whatever by that time, like, I'm going to be, like, sitting them down and be like, hey, let's start at the beginning. Like, we're watching Iron Man 1, here's some comic books. Like, we're doing this.
What poor quality that's going to look like?
They're going to be like, what kind of crappy movie is this? I'm going to be like, you shut your mouth.
They're like, look at these graphics. Like, ugh. Whereas
it's like a tin can. I'm going to be like, get out. Like,
I assume by the time you're 60 or 70, that we'll just be watching movies from our eyelids. And, like...
But, I mean, Star Wars kind of held up in the sense that, I mean, yes, it's poor, like, graphics, but, like, it still holds up, and it's like, So I feel like Marvel movies, in that same kind of sense, will also hold up, and well as comic books and all the other TV shows, everything else. I mean, these are things that are going to be going on for many generations to come. So I look forward to everything that is yet to come as as being influenced by what he did.
Yeah. So Marvel released a Marvel's Remembers the Legacy of Stan Lee video, which is what we're about to watch. Tears, probably. I don't know. I'm sure you'll be crying a lot, but I'll try to keep it together. But yeah, so we're gonna go and take a look at this and try not to bawl our eyes out.
I'm Stan Lee.
Oh my gosh.
I've been writing stories for
I would not have seen that guy and been like, oh, that's Stan Lee.
For the past 30 years. During this time, I think I've learned a lot about what young people think.
Sound like him still.
More importantly, I think I've learned a lot about what young people are. We're going to try to present a voice that somebody will listen to. The voice is needed. We hope it will be ours.
He could have been like Jonah Jameson.
That would have been awesome.
Excelsior! Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Stanley.
The president.
You got the Medal of
Stan
Freedom.
was doing one of his panels, and they asked me to come up and just say
something
hi.
called that, but yeah.
I felt a little goofy, but I came up, I shook his hand. I think the microphone caught it, but I whispered in his ear. I said, hey, they just wanted me to come up here and shake your hand, but while I'm up here, I want to say thank you. You saved my life. Because the life that I have today, there's a direct line to that first comic book to here.
Well, Stan's best creation was always Stan. As a creative figure is one thing. Stan as a personality was able to somehow tap into his own larger-than-life, self-effacing and self-aggrandizing at the same time personality.
As I would describe it, that P.T. Barnum aspect of him, it's just something he infused the group with, and it's something that the people who followed him have been able to kind of keep that energy going.
I think Stan Lee is going to be an icon, what he represents, what he was able to accomplish. He built American mythology because stories are really what stay with us.
Those characters that he created and what he infused Marvel, the brand, with have always shown through.
Even if they have superpower, they have to be believable. What they do has to be what any normal person would do in those situations.
And the idea that he championed
One of the few people that can pull
all
off a
kinds of
mustache.
different voices, all kinds of points of view,
Him and Tom Selleck.
the concept of diversity
And Burt Reynolds.
equality and conversations about, social politics, all these things he had been doing for years. And now it's at the forefront of everything that we talk about.
I just think he was just connected in that way, and he was connected to who his true audience was and who he was really writing for.
He complemented that with always being hopeful, with his own first-person personality of being Stan.
My earliest memories of Stan were reading those soapboxes. You felt like he was talking directly to you and no one else. What I didn't realize was that there was a kid behind me at the candy store reading the same thing, feeling the exact same way.
His ideology was very clear. It was very black and white, how to be good, how to treat people equally. And that's a really powerful impact, to lean into the light as much as you can, even if there's darkness all around you.
In writing the soapboxes, I used to just talk to the readers, anything that came to my mind, just to make the books not seem like something cold and aloof and it's something you buy and you throw away. I wanted them to feel buying a Marvel book was like visiting an old friend.
Without that, we wouldn't be experiencing the success we had today.
People like that, creative geniuses like that, you can't help but walk away learning lessons. They have a way of delivering messages that, just resonate with those of us who have followed his work and followed the characters he's created.
He made it feel intimate and that anybody could belong to it. We're really lucky to have him really define us, because it's really given us something to move forward with.
There will never be a world without Stan Lee. He's the heart of the Marvel Universe.
That was a nice little tribute.
Yeah, I mean, just getting to see, even in his old age, like he was
Full of energy.
full of energy, just full of life, just
having fun doing,
yeah. I'm like, that's really one of the keys to being, like, even just reaching 95 years old. I mean, good grief, I don't know.
I mean, geez, he had more energy, like, late in his life than
No,
I do now.
I know.
Than I think I've ever had.
And it's just like, never stop doing what you enjoy doing. I mean, he had a purpose, and that's why he was able to, be around as long as he has been, and being able to still do things that people who are 95 wouldn't normally have been able to do. Is that, the fans meant a lot to him, and it wasn't just like, I did my thing, like, it's whatever now. It's like, he wanted to go out, he wanted to, take photos with the fans, sign autographs for the fans, like, it's...
Do the cameos in the movies.
Because, he gave a lot to them, and and they, I mean, essentially they gave a lot to him by purchasing his stuff and being involved and invested in these stories and these characters that he's developed, and so he's given back so much, and it's just, I mean, he just looked like he was always just in the moment and just having the best moment that he possibly could. Yeah, and I mean, that just says a lot about him, says a lot about what Marvel is about, and I mean, I don't know what else to say.
There's nothing more to say. I mean, yeah, he's definitely going to be missed by just millions around the world. Like, it's not just like this small little area or over, he was definitely had a worldwide appeal with not just, with him, but everything that he's built. So, I mean,
like, I feel like there's very few people who you'd ask, like, do you know who Stan Lee is? I feel like most people, whether they're Marvel fans or not, like, I feel like they still, like, know the name Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those names like Michael Jordan or, like, Superman or, like, whatever. You just say it, like, people know who that is. And so, like, have such a, big impact around so many different cultures and so many different people all over the place. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know. But, so...
I don't know if there's something like a story that you have. Maybe you met Stan Lee, or like what was your favorite character story. Like, post something in the comments. We'd definitely like to hear more about what you guys thought of Stan Lee. Anything like that. I mean, we would just be happy to read a little bit more about him, what he meant to you, and if there's anything that you want to share, I mean, definitely feel free to do so.
Yeah. So let us know in those comments. Like, subscribe, and thank you for watching.